want to talk about something that is often overlooked, but at the same time it has a lot of value in dog training. And this is building a dog's impulse control and reliability to follow an obedience cue around distractions. A distraction could be anything that is enjoyable to a dog. It could be the desire to chase a squirrel or a bird or to play with another dog. The thing with distractions is that we must use them to strengthen our training instead of letting them become this challenge that makes training more difficult. Essentially, we want to teach the dog that by doing something they may not necessarily want to do first, they get to do something that they would much rather do instead afterwards. For example, when we are walking with a dog, most dogs enjoy sniffing around, exploring. This is kind of how they make sense of the world. And I realize that some dogs may be more interested in sniffing than other dogs. But my point is that if we don't take the things that our dogs enjoy doing and use them as rewards, then they can work against us in dog training. So anytime that I discover something that could become a distraction, I start to think of how to add structure to that activity and use it to have a happier dog. And especially if we're going to take a dog off the leash, I think that for their own safety, it's important that we are able to maintain a reliable level of control over them at all times. What I mean is that we establish an understanding with our dogs that puts them in a position where they choose to be obedient, whether they are on a leash or not. There are many different exercises that we can work on to communicate this concept, but I'm going to show you one today that I really like. We're going to start off with the very basics without any distractions at first. Let's take a look. Start off by putting your dog in a sit stay and showing them that you're putting a treat down several feet away, and then release them to go and get it. Repeat this a few times so the dog understands that they can go and get the treat upon being released. What we want to start doing now is to have the dog sit before they get to the treat. You can also click and treat for sitting. It's important that the dog actually sits, because if they just go and get the treat, then we've taught them the opposite of what we're trying to accomplish here. This is why we must practice on a long leash like I am doing here, so that we can stop them if we need to. So that's it. Good, okay. Okay, so that's it. Good girl. Okay, please. Notice how she turns to me as if to ask for permission. This is an indication that we are on the right track. Okay, so that's it. Good girl. Good job. Okay. Okay. Sit. Good girl. Okay. Okay, so that's it. Okay, free. Okay, so that's it. Good girl. After a lot of practice, it's not going to be necessary to click and treat for every single sit. Eventually, the release will become the reward on its own. Okay. Okay, so that's it. Good. Okay, so that's it. Yes, good job. Okay, free. So that's it. Good girl. So now come. Okay. Shall we sit? Yes, good girl. Okay, free. You can dedicate an entire training session to working on this, and it would probably be a good idea to do that if we're working with a younger dog. But if we're talking about a dog that already has some experience with clicker training, it holds the dog's attention a little bit better if we are working on a number of different things in one session as opposed to the same repetitive task, which may become boring to some dogs. Silly, sit. Good girl. Good job. Okay, free. Silly, sit. Good girl. Okay, free. Let's go. Silly, sit. Good girl. What is a distraction that you have encountered in the past with your dog? And have you tried any positive techniques like this one? It could even be something really simple. Let me know in the comments or in a video response.